The shop was usually very quiet on weekends, with barely any business all day. It could easily stay closed. Hai Tong went to the shop for the quiet, so she could make the handicrafts for her online store. Shen Xiaojun also came. Seeing Hai Tong in the shop, Shen Xiaojun asked in surprise, Tong Tong, it's Sunday. Why are you here? You usually take your nephew to the park. I need to list some new items in my online store. Hai Tong wove her goods while looking up at her friend and smiling. What about you? Don't even ask. My mom nagged me so much, I couldn't stand it and ran to the shop. What did your mom nag you about this time? It's the same old thing. She's complaining that we went to that banquet the other night and didn't snag a rich husband. She thinks it's easy to catch a golden turtle, doesn't she? She doesn't consider what kind of person her daughter is. She really thinks her daughter is the most beautiful woman in the world. Hai Tong chuckled. Most parents in the world are like this. As soon as their children reach marriageable age, they start worrying about their children's marriage. 25 years old would have been considered old in earlier times when people married young. But in this day and age, it's still very young. My mom asked my aunt to introduce me to another boyfriend. She wants me to go on a blind date at some coffee shop tonight. Going to a coffee shop for a blind date at night. If I have one cup of coffee, we'll probably be talking till dawn. Tong Tong, will you go on the blind date with me tonight? Hai Tong shook her head like a rattle drum. No way. Come on, Tong Tong, please. We're best friends, good friends. You're the most loyal person I know, willing to go through fire and water for a friend. I'm not that loyal. You should find someone who's willing to go through fire and water for you. Shen Xiaojun coaxed. I'll buy you late-night snacks after we meet him. I have my own money. I could buy my own late-night snacks. I don't need you to treat me. Hai Tong simply didn't want to accompany her friend on a blind date. What if the guy liked her instead? She had heard of such things happening. Someone accompanied their sister-in-law on a blind date, and the guy ended up liking the sister-in-law instead. The sister-in-law was furious. That would seriously damage their relationship. She and Xiaojun were good friends who could talk about anything, but some things just couldn't be done. Accompanying Xiaojun to the banquet was different. The banquet was full of successful people, their eyes fixed on the sky, and they wouldn't look at a small fry like her. So she didn't feel any pressure. Tong Tong. A familiar voice rang out. The two looked towards the entrance of the shop. Hai Tong immediately stopped what she was doing, got up, and walked out, smiling. Grandma, why are you here? I wanted to talk to you, so I came. I went to your apartment, and Ian said you weren't home, so I came to find you. The old woman looked at Hai Tong with loving eyes. After entering the shop, she asked, I remember you saying that you could keep the shop closed on weekends. Grandma, I haven't listed any new items in my online store for a while. The stock is almost sold out. I have to use my free time on the weekend to make some new items. The small things she knitted sold very well online. She had to add new items regularly, and some customers would pre-order. When she accepted an order, she had to deliver to the customer within the promised time frame. In business, promises are very important. Tong Tong, you're truly clever and skilled. The old lady had received many copper wire crafts from Hai Tong, woven so realistically that she proudly displayed them in the most prominent place in her home. Even though they weren't valuable, they represented her granddaughter-in-law's affection. When guests visited and admired the crafts, the old lady would take the opportunity to promote Hai Tong's online store, leading to increased sales. Grandma Jean, have some water. Shen Xiaojun poured the old lady a glass of water. Thank you, Xiaojun. You're here today, too. Sigh. It's my mom pressuring me about marriage again. I'm hiding in the store for some peace. She keeps setting me up on blind dates, making me feel like a clearance item. Tonight, she wants me to go to XX Coffee House for another one, and I'm begging Tong Tong to go with me. The old lady's eyes twinkled, a smile on her face. I understand your mother. I'm also worried about my other grandson's marriages. They won't listen to me at all. None of them will go on blind dates. Tong Tong, why don't you accompany Xiaojun tonight? Hai Tong. The old lady was actually suggesting she go with Xiaojun on a blind date. You and Xiaojun are good friends. It's good for you to go with her and help her assess the guy. After all, you're already married. Shen Xiaojun nodded vigorously, thinking the old lady was her best ally. Tong Tong, please come with me. If you won't at least convince my mom to stop setting me up. Shen Xiaojun acted coquettishly towards Hai Tong. With the old lady also chiming in. Hai Tong, wanting some peace, reluctantly agreed. Just this once. No more. Great. I knew Tong Tong was the best. After successfully persuading her friend to accompany her, Shin Xiaojun thoughtfully said, Grandma Jean, you and Tong Tong can chat. I'll go buy some things. She wanted to give them some private time. After Shun Xiaojun left, the old lady took out a piece of paper and handed it to Hai Tong. Grandma, what's this? A love letter for me? The old lady laughed. You're such a tease. This is a list of Ain's habits and preferences. Take a look. It will help you two build your relationship. Tong Tong, even though you and Ain don't have a foundation of feelings, feelings can be cultivated. If you both let down your guard and try to understand each other, I believe you'll be attracted to each other. Hai Tong opened the paper, thinking that Jean-Yin had already made her sign an agreement to divorce in 6 months, so she didn't want to waste time cultivating feelings. She wasn't guarding herself against Jean-Yin, but he was definitely guarded against her, even if he wasn't bad to her. Ain just has a bit of a temper when he wakes up and is a little bit of a neat freak. Otherwise, he's a good person. The old lady, having pushed for her eldest grandson's marriage, was trying hard and hoping the couple could develop feelings and grow old together. Hai Tong was stunned. He has a bad temper when he wakes up? Yes, unless he wakes up naturally. If anyone wakes him up with a phone call or by knocking, that person is in trouble. Even I wouldn't dare to pull a tiger's whiskers. Hai Tong recalled the numerous times she had called Jean-In early in the morning, dragging him out of bed, and he didn't seem angry. Was the old lady telling the truth? Or was Jean-In holding back because they were newlyweds? Tong Tong, last night did you too? The old lady winked at Hai Tong, who understood her meaning. Her face flushed slightly. Grandma, I'm a girl. You want me to pounce on a man? I really can't do that. Especially not a man like Jean-In. The old lady laughed. What's there to be afraid of? You're a married couple, a legally married couple with a marriage certificate. If Ain isn't proactive, you be proactive. Grandma wants to hold a great-grandchild. Hai Tong blushed. Grandma, I'm not afraid of you getting angry, but facing your grandson's serious face, I really can't bring myself to kiss him. The old lady, Jean-In, like his grandfather, was naturally serious and aloof. When the old lady was young, she had pursued her husband for several years, using every trick in the book, before finally winning him over. Kissing him would be like gnawing on a bone that's been frozen solid for a year. Cold and hard, I'd probably chip my teeth. The old lady, Grandma, don't worry about me and Jean-In. Let things take their natural course. After all, she was just going through the motions of marriage. The old lady fumed inwardly. How could she not worry? This was the granddaughter-in-law she had chosen, the marriage she had pushed for despite her daughter-in-law's disapproval. If Hai Tong wasn't happy, she would blame herself to death. All right, let nature take its course. Grandma will help you tidy up. You go about your business. The old lady couldn't sit still at home. She often helped the gardeners with the flowers and plants, and previously she even helped with the fields outside the estate. Only after repeated persuasion from the younger generation did she stop. She even wanted to work as a cleaning lady at their family company, but as soon as she mentioned it, Zhang Yin's face had thundered. It scared her off. It wasn't the first time the old lady had come to the shop to chat with Hai Tong. Hai Tong knew that the old lady had worked hard for most of her life and couldn't stay idle. Tidying up wouldn't take much effort, so she let the old lady help organize the books while she focused on weaving her crafts. Dusting the bookshelves with a feather duster, the old lady suddenly found Hai Tong incredibly captivating as she focused on her work. She took out her phone, hid behind a bookshelf, and secretly filmed a video of Hai Tong's concentration. After filming, she sent it to her precious grandson. Of course, Jeanine wouldn't reply to his grandmother. The old lady didn't care whether he replied or not, as long as he watched it. Hai Tong was like a book, each page revealing something new. She just needed to draw her grandson in, to get him to start reading Hai Tong's book. When one is engrossed in something, time flies by. When Hai Tong finished making the items customers had pre-ordered, she looked at the time and saw it was already past 6 in the evening. Shin Xiaojuan's blind date was at 7:30 p.m. The location was Yuyi Coffee House, the largest and most elegant coffee house in Guangxing. located in the bustling city center. Thanks to the owner's investment, the coffee house was soundproofed. Stepping into the elegant interior, the outside noise disappeared, allowing people to relax without being disturbed. Therefore, Yui Coffee House was very popular, and many people liked to go there, even if they didn't drink coffee. Just to escape and find some peace was good enough. Shin Xiaojun arrived to pick up her friend on a motorcycle. Seeing Shin Xiaojun on the motorcycle, the old lady said, "June girl, why don't you walk?" Shin Xiaojun took off her helmet and grinned. "I love the feeling of speeding on my motorcycle. At this time, all the main roads are jammed, but my mode of transport is unaffected by traffic. Grandma Jean, have you eaten? Why don't you come along too? You've eaten more salt than I've eaten rice. You can help me judge." My aunt said the guy works at Shangshe Group. Shangshe Group was the second largest corporation in Guangxing, second only to the richest family Shangshe Group. Both companies had high thresholds. Without real talent, one couldn't even get a foot in the door. It could be said that anyone working at these two companies had something to brag about. The old lady smiled. "Tong Tong and I have already had takeout. My second grandson will be here soon to take me home. I won't go and be a third wheel. I'm not bright enough, and I flicker too much. It wouldn't be good if I caused a short circuit." Shin Xiaojun laughed even harder, truly liking this humorous old lady. She hadn't met John Ian yet, but had heard from her best friend that he was a serious and aloof man. She couldn't imagine how Grandma Jean raised such a grandson, so unlike his grandmother. Soon, Johnny Chen arrived. He came to pick up their family's incognito ancestor and go home. The ancestor had specifically reminded him to drive a cheaper car. The cheapest car in the garage was the BMW the servants used for grocery shopping, which still cost over $1 million. There was a time to buy a new one, so Johnny Chin had to borrow the gardener's pickup truck to pick up his grandmother. "Sister-in-law, I'm here to take Grandma home." Johnny Chin entered the shop and greeted Hai Tong. "Okay, be careful on the road. Grandma, send me a message when you get home." Hai Tong reminded the grandmother and grandson and gave them the 2 handicrafts she had made today. She gave Johnny Chin a potted copper wire money tree. Johnny Chin didn't refuse. Having seen his sister-in-law's crafts often at home, he quite appreciated them. He felt that although the copper wire crafts weren't worth much, they were very beautiful. Soon, Johnny Chin drove off with the old lady. After some distance, the old lady asked her second grandson, "Where did you get this car?" "Uncle Wang usually uses it to haul fertilizer and flower pots. I borrowed it from him, so sister-in-law wouldn't be suspicious." His older brother was pretending to be poor, so they had to pretend to be poor in front of their sister-in-law as well. It was quite fun, though. Johnny Chin was looking forward to the day when his older brother truly fell in love with his sister-in-law, and then his sister-in-law discovered his brother's deception. What would her reaction be? Well, to put it bluntly, he was looking forward to his older brother's groveling pursuit. "I thought this car looked familiar. It turns out it's Uncle Wang's." The old lady took out her phone and called Jean-Ian. After Jean-Ian answered the phone, she instructed, "Ian, Grandma has a craving. Go to Yui Coffee House and buy me some pastries. Their pastries are also superb, and Grandma loves them." Jean-Ian frowned and said, "There are so many people at home, Grandma. You can just ask them to buy them for you." He had to make a trip himself. "What? Can't Grandma order you around anymore? I'm telling you, if I don't get pastries from Yui Coffee House later, I'll go to Jean Group tomorrow and work as a cleaner, picking up trash and collecting scrap." Jean Yin's face darkened. Since his grandfather passed away, his grandmother had been like a wild horse off its reins, often dressing plainly and wandering around outside. And look, she'd wandered back with a wife for him. "I'll go buy them." Jean-Ian gritted his teeth and agreed. The old lady hung up the phone, satisfied. Johnny Chin hurriedly said, "Grandma, if you want pastries from Yui Coffee House, we can make a detour there. You don't have to make Big Brother go." What do you know? The old lady had other intentions. Johnny Chin understood and laughed. "Grandma, are you messing with my brother again?" The old lady glared at him. "Ask one more question, and I'll mess with you." Johnny Chin immediately fell silent. Although he sympathized with his elder brother, for his own peace, it was better not to say anything. A dead elder brother was better than a dead him. Grandma was a mischievous old child, enjoying playing pranks on her grandsons. On the other side, Haitong locked up the bookstore, took the helmet from her friend, put it on, grabbed the keys, and said, "I'll drive." Shin Xiaojun obediently sat behind her, naturally wrapping her arms around Haitong's waist. "Haitong, if only you were a man, I'd marry you, and my mom wouldn't be nagging me about marriage every day. Behave yourself, don't touch me, or I'll throw you off." Haitong warned her friend before starting the motorcycle. Haitong often passed by Yui Coffee House, but never went in, simply because she didn't like coffee. She preferred rose or chrysanthemum tea. At Yui Coffee House, the man was already waiting, perhaps to make a good impression. He wore a suit and a red and white striped tie, holding a bouquet of roses at the entrance. Shin Xiaojun led her friend towards him. "Are you Mr. Lan?" Mr. Lan looked Shin Xiaojun and Haitong up and down, momentarily unsure which one was his blind date. The matchmaker had shown him a photo, but he had only glanced at it casually. He knew the woman was quite pretty, but hadn't really memorized Miss Shin's appearance. The matchmaker told him to hold a bouquet of roses at the entrance, and Miss Shin would recognize him. "Are you Miss Shin?" "I am." Mr. Lan smiled and invited them inside. He had already booked a window seat with a view of the street. After they sat down, Mr. Lan glanced at Haitong several times. Shin Xiaojun introduced her friend, mentioning that Haitong was married. Mr. Lan felt a pang of regret. He thought Haitong had a better temperament than Shin Xiaojun. He had taken a liking to Haitong at first glance, assuming she was his date. Turns out, she was already taken. Shin Xiaojun agreed to the blind date. Firstly, because she couldn't stand her mother's nagging, and secondly, because it was arranged by her aunt, so she had to give her aunt some face. She wasn't interested in Mr. Lan, and after chatting for a while, she liked him even less. Mr. Lan worked at Shang Corporation, a leader of some sort, and considered himself a successful elite. Although he knew the Shin family wasn't poor, he thought they were just nouveau riche who got rich from demolition. He looked down on Shin Xiaojun, constantly showing off his superiority, and even suggested splitting expenses after marriage. Hearing this, Haitong kicked her friend lightly under the table, warning her that this man was no good. "Mr. Lan, I'm going to the restroom." Shin Xiaojun interrupted Mr. Lan's rambling, excused herself, and left. In the restroom, she called her aunt and complained, then called her mother, saying that if her mother forced her on another blind date with just anyone, she would shave her head and become a nun. Just because he worked at Shang Corporation, he acted so high and mighty. He wasn't even the CEO. Maybe even the CEO of Shang wouldn't be so arrogant. Haitong also disliked Mr. Lan. After her friend went to the restroom, she looked out the window, not wanting to talk to him. That was when Johnine walked in. He had the habit of surveying his surroundings wherever he went, and this time was no exception. Unexpectedly, he saw his wife having coffee with a strange man. Was she cheating on him? Or had the agreement she signed last night made her realize the benefits she could get from him were limited? So she was eager to find her next target and wait for him to ask for a divorce? Jeanine was about to walk over when Shin Xiaojun came out of the restroom. He then saw Shin Xiaojun say something to the man and pull his wife up to leave. "Miss Shin, stay a little longer?" Mr. Lan, basking in his perceived superiority, was reluctant to let Shin Xiaojun leave. "Mr. Lan, I'm sorry, I don't think we're a match. Let's not see each other again." Shin Xiaojun spoke frankly and pulled Haitong away. As they walked, her friend suddenly stopped. Tong, what's wrong?" "My husband." "What?" Before Shin Xiaojun could react, Jeanine had walked up to them. His deep, dark eyes fell on Haitong, the corners of his mouth curving slightly. He didn't say a word, but Haitong felt the sarcasm emanating from him. What was he being sarcastic about? Haitong glanced back at Mr. Lan, who was following them, and immediately understood. She explained, "My friend Xiaojun is here on a blind date. I'm accompanying her." She wasn't rushing to find another partner. Jean-Ine remained silent. Shin Xiaojun finally saw her friend's flash marriage husband's true appearance. So cool, so handsome. Afraid that Jean-Ine would misunderstand Haitong, she also explained the situation. Jean then coldly said, "Come home early." Hai Tong hummed in agreement and then asked him, "Why are you here?" "Grandma asked me to buy some pastries here. She likes the pastries from this shop." Jean understood that this was his grandmother's doing. Knowing that Hai Tong was accompanying her friend on a blind date here, she deliberately sent him to buy pastries. Did Grandma think he would be jealous seeing Hai Tong having coffee with another man? Oh, Hai Tong just said oh, and the couple stood in silence. Finally, Hai Tong broke the silence. "Then I'll go first. After you deliver the pastries to Grandma, come back. I'll leave the door unlocked for you." Jean responded coldly. "Okay." The couple parted ways. Hai Tong left on her friend's motorcycle. After packing the pastries, Jean drove his Dongfeng four-thing minivan away from Yui Coffee Shop. He drove all the way back to the Jean family estate. The old lady hadn't gone to bed yet and was watching TV in the living room, looking bored. Jean strode over with the pastries, placed them on the coffee table, stood up straight, and said coldly, "Grandma, we agreed. After the wedding, you wouldn't interfere in Hai Tong's and my life." "I didn't interfere." The old lady looked innocent. Jean pointed at the boxes of pastries. "You specifically asked me to go to Yui Coffee Shop to buy pastries. Wasn't it just so I could witness Hai Tong having coffee with another man?" "Grandma, I don't know what jealousy tastes like, and I won't taste it." After speaking, Jean turned and walked out. The old lady called after him, "It's so late. Aren't you staying the night?" "My wife left the door unlocked for me," Jean coldly retorted. The old lady watched him walk out of the house, and after a while muttered, "Doesn't know the taste of jealousy? Won't be jealous? I'll just wait for you to be proven wrong." Hai Tong didn't know what Jean and old Mrs. Jean had talked about. Meeting Jean at Yui Coffee House was already a surprise. Connecting it to old Mrs. Jean helping Shin Xiaojun persuade her to accompany Xiaojun. Hai Tong understood why Jean was there. But why did old Mrs. Jean do this? To make Jean misunderstand her? It wasn't her going on a blind date, it was Xiaojun. Even if Jean saw them. Thinking back to Jean Yin's expression at the coffee house, even colder than usual, Hai Tong, however slow, knew that Jean had gotten the wrong idea. Mainly because Xiaojun had gone to the restroom, leaving her alone with Mr. Lan. Fortunately, Xiaojun came back from the restroom, and she explained in time. Jean Yin's expression softened a little. Hai Tong just couldn't understand why old Mrs. Jean would do this. She had saved old Mrs. Jean's life, but she never considered herself a benefactor. It was old Mrs. Jean who insisted on treating her as one and was always very good to her. Logically, she wouldn't set her up. With her face full of speculation, Hai Tong sat on the swing chair on the balcony after returning home. She didn't even turn on the lights, quietly looking at the night sky. Jean returned late at night. When he came back, Hai Tong was already asleep. She had fallen asleep on the swing chair, but Jean didn't know. He saw that Hai Tong's door was closed and there was no light inside, so he assumed she was asleep. He sat down on the sofa and turned on the TV. He rarely watched TV, but he did so because the house was too quiet. The volume was set very low. He was afraid of disturbing Hai Tong, who was sleeping in her room. Ring, ring, ring. His phone rang. He looked at the caller ID. It was his second brother, Yi-chun. "Brother, are you all right?" Jean Yi-chun asked with concern over the phone. Jean paused, then asked him, "Did you know Grandma was going to set me up?" "Brother, how did Grandma set you up?" "I only know that Grandma called you to Yui Coffee House to buy pastries. It's not news that Grandma likes the pastries there." Jean sneered. "My wife happened to be on a blind date at Yui Coffee House." "What?" Jean Yi-chun exclaimed in shock. "My sister-in-law went on a blind date? Is she cheating on you, brother? You two just got your marriage license. Yesterday, both families just met and had dinner together, discussing your wedding, and she turned around and went on a blind date? She was accompanying her friend on a blind date." Jean Yi-chun. "Brother, can you make yourself clearer? You made me misunderstand my sister-in-law." "I knew it. My sister-in-law looks like a very proper person. She definitely wouldn't do anything like that. When I arrived, it was quite a coincidence. Her friend went to the restroom, and it was just her and the blind date sitting together. That really is a coincidence. Even if Grandma sent you there, it couldn't be a coincidence that you saw that scene, right? Jeanine paused, then said with a headache, Yui Coffee House was recently bought by Grandma. She's the real owner now. As the head of the family, he knew about some of Grandma's moves. Brother, you mean the staff that were watching my sister-in-law, and it just so happened that her friend went to the restroom when you arrived, making you misunderstand that my sister-in-law was looking for someone else? Jean Ichin wasn't stupid either, and quickly figured it out. He chuckled and said, Brother, since you and my sister-in-law have gotten your marriage license and are husband and wife, it's normal for Grandma to be anxious. Grandma just wants to provoke you, make you jealous. Brother, are you jealous? I never knew what jealousy tasted like. Jean Ichin laughed heartily. Then have my sister-in-law make you jealous someday so you can taste it. Grandma likes my sister-in-law so much, brother. I think you'll fall for her sooner or later. Besides her background, my sister-in-law is excellent in every other aspect. The crafts she makes with copper wire are truly exceptional. So beautiful. He had also received a money tree from his sister-in-law. It wasn't valuable, but the more he looked at it, the more he loved it. He decided to take it to his office tomorrow and put it on his desk to attract wealth. Jean-Ine recalled the video Grandma had sent him. Hai Tong was concentrating on her handiwork. Utterly captivating. He wouldn't admit it, but he'd replayed the video countless times, inwardly acknowledging that a woman engrossed in a task, brimming with confidence, radiated a magnetic charm, drawing others in like a powerful magnet. They say a confident woman is the most beautiful. Hai Tong certainly embodied that confidence. She was a strong and independent woman. I've never tasted vinegar in my life, and I never will. Aren't you asleep? Jeanine was startled to see Hai Tong walk in from the balcony. He stammered to Jean Ichin on the phone. I was just about to sleep. Thought I'd give you a call before I did. Going to sleep now. He hung up abruptly. Jean Ichin. I was sitting on the balcony and fell asleep without realizing it. Your conversation woke me up. Jeanine frowned. The night air is cold. Be careful not to catch a chill. Thanks for your concern. Hai Tong yawned. Mr. Jean, I'm going to bed now. She didn't mention anything about the evening's events. Jeanine watched her return to her room, silent. He wasn't sure if she had heard his conversation with Jean Ichin, or how much she had heard. Having a wife in his own home made Jean-Ine feel like his privacy had vanished. The next morning at breakfast, Jeanine discovered exactly how much Hai Tong had heard. Next to his breakfast sat a nearly full bottle of vinegar. Hai Tong had made noodles. Each of their bowls held a fried egg, along with spring onions, coriander, and shredded meat. Hai Tong brought a bottle of Lao Gan Ma chili sauce from the kitchen, opened it, added a dab to her noodles, and then pushed it toward Jeanine. Want some? It makes the noodles taste better. No, thank you. Jeanine declined. Hai Tong closed the lid and set the chili sauce aside. She then picked up the vinegar, opened it, and poured some in her noodles. I like to add vinegar to my noodles, she said. The sourness is quite tasty. Jean-Ine remained silent. Mr. Jean, last night you told someone you'd never tasted vinegar. Try it now. I'll add some for you. Without waiting for a reply, Hai Tong poured vinegar into his bowl, closed the lid, placed the bottle next to the chili sauce, picked up her chopsticks, and said, Eat. Jeanine watched her for a moment before picking up his chopsticks. The noodles with vinegar were a bit sour, but as she'd said, the sourness was quite pleasant. How does it taste? Sour. Jeanine replied instinctively. That's the taste of vinegar, sour. Now that you've tried it, mister. Jean, don't tell people you've never tasted it. They'll think your intelligence is inferior to a 3-year-old's. Jeanine. Hai Tong finished her noodles, tidied the kitchen as usual, and then came out to tell Jeanine, I'm leaving first. Remember to lock the door when you go out. Jeanine glanced at her twice, and then lowered his head to continue eating his noodles. By the way, can I take some of the fruit to my sister? She had bought a lot of fruit that day, and after her in-laws left, there was a lot left in the refrigerator. The two of them couldn't eat it all, and it would go bad if left for too long. This time Jeanine spoke. Your sister is not an outsider. You can take it if you want. You don't need to ask me specifically. In this house, unless it's a big matter, you can make your own decisions. We're not very familiar with each other, and I'm living in your room. Asking you is a sign of respect for you as my husband. I'm not someone who takes everything good back to my parents' house. It's just that I bought a little too much fruit that day, and we've already eaten a lot. It would be a waste if it goes bad. I'll give some to my sister, so it doesn't go to waste." Jean-Yin hummed in agreement. Seeing he had no objections, Hai Tong packed 2 bags of fruit and took them to her sister. Hai Ling said to her sister, "Don't bring everything to me. If I want to eat something, I'll buy it myself. It's just me and Jean-Yin at home. I occasionally eat some, but Jean-Yin doesn't like fruit. It's a waste if it goes bad. He told me to bring some to you and said you're not an outsider." She had never seen Jean-Yin eat fruit. He went out early and came back late every day. As soon as he returned, he would go into his room and wouldn't come out until the next day. He wouldn't eat anything at home. Hai Tong suspected that if she didn't make him breakfast, he would eat out like he used to, and there might not even be a glass of boiled water at home. Hearing her sister say this, Hai Ling accepted the 2 bags of fruit. Hai Tong played with her nephew for a while, and then went back to the shop to work. As soon as Hai Tong left, Jean-Yin quickly dumped the unfinished bowl of noodles into the trash can. At first, it tasted sour and quite good, but the more he ate, the sourer it became. He simply couldn't eat it anymore. He had already said he didn't get jealous. Worried that Hai Tong would see the noodles he had thrown away when she came back in the evening, he diligently took the garbage bag out. His bodyguards were waiting for him downstairs. Since the young madam had left first, they didn't have to worry about her finding out. Seeing the young master coming downstairs with a garbage bag, the bodyguards were momentarily stunned. Having been with the young master for many years, they saw him as a god, aloof and remote. After throwing away the garbage, Jean-Yin walked towards his car. After a few steps, he noticed that the bodyguards hadn't followed him. He turned around and called out, "Have you been frozen by Sun Wukong?" Standing there like a bunch of dummies. The bodyguards snapped back to their senses and hurried to catch up. The commercial vehicle that Jean-Yin used to pretend to be poor was driven to Jean Group by a bodyguard every day, and when Jean-Yin was ready to go home, he would drive the commercial vehicle back. Half an hour later, as soon as Jean-Yin's car arrived at the company entrance, it was blocked by a red Ferrari sports car parked horizontally in an arrogant and domineering manner. The girl in red in the sports car had wavy hair, delicate features, a diamond necklace around her neck, diamond bracelets on her fair wrists, and diamond earrings. In short, she was covered in jewels. After blocking Jean-Yin's car, she got out and walked to the Rolls-Royce, knocking on Jean-Yin's window. Jean-Yin lowered the window. "Shang Xiaofei, you have 2 minutes to move your car." Jean-Yin spoke coldly. Shang Xiaofei was the cherished daughter of the Shang Group's chairman and the younger sister of CEO Shang Wuing. Deeply loved and pampered by her family, she was the most eligible bachelorette in Guangqing. Jean-Yin wait. As if remembering something, Shang Xiaofei turned and ran back to her sports car, returning with a large bouquet of bright red roses. She ran back holding the enormous bouquet and tried to shove it into the car. "Jean-Yin," she said, "these are for you. I know you and my brother don't get along, but I love you. I feel I should confess my feelings and let you know my love for you is true." The Shang Group and the Jean Group weren't exactly mortal enemies, but their businesses overlapped in some areas, and as the saying goes, fellow tradesmen are often rivals. The two families competed in the marketplace, and their relationship was not harmonious. However, at a banquet years ago, Shang Wuheng's younger sister, Shang Xiaofei, had fallen in love with Jean-Yin at first sight. Due to the business rivalry between their families, not only her brother, but even her doting parents disapproved of her pursuing Jean-Yin. Although Shang Xiaofei was raised in a pampered environment, she wasn't foolish. She had considered giving up on Jean-Yin, but unfortunately, after several years, she couldn't forget him. Instead, her feelings only deepened. She particularly liked Jean-Yin's icy demeanor, finding him cool. And because Jean-Yin disliked young women approaching him, it ignited a desire in Shang Xiaofei to conquer him. She decided, regardless of her family's opinion, since she couldn't forget him, she would boldly confess her feelings. Starting today, she, Shang Xiaofei, would publicly pursue Jean-Yin. Jean-Yin's face darkened. He snatched the bouquet from her and threw it far away. Then he rolled up the car window and coldly instructed his driver, "Drive." "Jeanine, Jeanine, I love you. I'm going to pursue you." Shang Xiaofei slapped the car window, shouting loudly. As the driver started the car, he asked, "Young master, what about Miss Shang's car?" "Hit it." The driver didn't accelerate and ram her car directly. Instead, a car from their security detail sped forward and slammed into Shang Xiaofei's multi-million-dollar Ferrari. A loud crash echoed. The security guards on duty stared, dumbfounded. After knocking Shang Xiaofei's car out of the way, Zhang Yin's Rolls-Royce quickly drove into the company. Shang Xiaofei was stunned, watching her recently purchased sports car battered and damaged by Zhang Yin's security detail. She stared blankly, and by the time she reacted and tried to chase after him, the security guards had already closed the company gates. "Jeanine," Shang Xiaofei yelled, "you damaged my car. You have to buy me a new one. You owe me. I'll come every day to demand a new car." Although distressed about her damaged car, she realized this gave her an excuse to pester Jeanine. Shang Xiaofei felt that the collision had actually created more opportunities for her. In any case, she had confessed her feelings and clearly told Jeanine that she would pursue him. Regardless of the outcome, she had taken action and wouldn't regret it in the future. Actually, the way Jeanine just rammed her sports car was incredibly cool. Of course, it would have been better if it wasn't her car. The security guard on duty thought to himself, "Did Miss Shang borrow some courage from the heavens today? She actually dared to come to Jean Group and cause a scene, even claiming she'll pursue Mr. Jean. Truly audacious."